now we can speak to Teirra Kamolvattanavith, who's freelance journalist and also a local resident there. Teirra, good morning to you. The tremors were felt at 1:30. What were you doing then?
So when the shake started, I was at home because it was around lunchtime. I was eating and I was sitting on the floor. And when the shake started, didn't even comprehend it was an earthquake. I've never been in an earthquake before, especially of this magnitude. And it didn't click to me that it was an earthquake. I thought there was something wrong with me. I was getting lightheaded and I started panicking. But then my dogs started freaking out and barking. And my partner, who was next to me, also mentioned that he experienced shakes himself. So we ran outside to try to figure out what was going on. The dogs were still barking, and we had this water tank that's a little bit older, old-fashioned, and the water inside was swooshing because the grounds were shaking so much. And I got on X immediately just to figure out if this was just happening in our area or if other people were uh, experiencing the shakes too. And in the first initial 2 minutes, everyone was in panic and confused. People were asking, "What's happening? Is this an earthquake? Is this really happening?" Because Thailand is not typically considered an earthquake-prone zone. And in my lifetime, and I actually just spoke to my dad just to check in on him after the quake to see if everything was okay. He is 70, turning 70 this year, and he's never experienced an earthquake, especially of this magnitude, in his lifetime either. So it is something very new to us, and I think we're all just trying to wrap our heads around it and trying to figure out next steps to keep ourselves safe and the people our house and our loved ones safe.
Yeah, it's terrifying. And we understand there were no phone alerts.
There were no phone alerts, and that is a thing that a lot of people are bringing up on X right now, and a lot of the locals are talking about. There was no alerts, there was no warning on the phones, so that is something that the government is trying to implement, but to respond and kind of give people a warning about aftershocks. But that is something that a lot of people are raising concerns about, that there were no alerts of any kind from authorities prior to the shake.
And what is the emergency response? What does it feel like to you on the ground? Is there a presence of emergency responders?
So as of the Prime Minister has declared a state of emergency in Bangkok. And what that means typically is that government authorities get special authority to act quickly, like evacuations and closing roads and certain areas. I am a little bit away from the center of the city, so I have not experienced a lot of the chaos in the main streets. But from talking to friends who live in more central areas, they have been evacuated, especially those living in high rises and taller apartments have been evacuated. And as of 5 minutes ago, when I spoke to them, they have not been allowed back up into their buildings yet. So a lot of these main streets just have a crowd of people sitting on the sidewalk, on the streets, because they have nowhere to go.
Interesting. So they've been evacuated from the buildings because there's concern about the integrity of those buildings, but yet they're just sitting right outside them.
Exactly. I think everyone, because this is so new to Bangkok, I think everyone, including authorities, are trying to get their bearings and figure out how to respond. And since, quakes are such a rarity in Bangkok, there are huge concerns over structural damage because a lot of these buildings are not typically designed to withstand earthquakes, especially of this magnitude.
Yeah, and has there been any concern flagged? I mean, been a lot of construction taking place, a lot of these high-rise buildings, but as you say, Thailand is not a country known for its earthquakes. Has anybody sounded any kind of concern over the buildings?
Yes, there are a lot of concerns being raised, and damages are still being assessed because this is still developing. And so far, we know that one around 30-story building has collapsed. It is a building under construction near the Chatuchak area, which is a pretty popular and congested area because it's near the popular Chatuchak weekend market. And as of less than an hour ago, an emergency responder has said that 2 people have been found dead, and an unknown amount, at least 40, are still trapped and missing underneath the building during the collapse.
So there is a sense then that the death toll is going to rise quite significantly, I'd imagine.
Unfortunately so, but everything is still developing and there are responders out, and there's an emergency number you can call if you are trapped somewhere or if you require immediate and emergency assistance.
And I understand as well the SkyTrain, which a lot of people use for commuting and so on, that has also been closed. So you've got vast swathes of people walking through the streets trying to get somewhere.
Yes, both the SkyTrain and the MRT, which are both public train systems, have been temporarily closed. And there is this video that's been going viral on Thai X, which is of the SkyTrain during the moment of the shake, and it's swaying quite heavily, and it's actually very terrifying. And I can only imagine, what the people inside the trains were feeling at the time. So as of the time being, the main public trains of Bangkok have been closed.
Well, it's terrifying times for you, and really appreciate you giving us a sense of it on Sky News. Thank you, Teirra.